Hello everyone, I'm pleased to be there at the PlatformCon to present to you this topic that we face at Brevo and how we successfully shift our culture around our KaaS product. I'm Clément Duffau, I'm Platform Engineering Manager at Brevo, and I'm basically working on all the orchestration stack from Kubernetes to virtualization. And I will let the stage to Prateek to present himself.
Hi everyone, my name is Prateek. I am a senior platform engineer in Duffau. I have a strong background in backend development and orchestration using Kubernetes. I focus on building scalable, resilient solutions that drive impactful results. So, enough about us. Let's talk about who are we and whom we are working for. So, Brevo is one of the leading company in CRM and email marketing. We help business optimize their customer relationship, and we are going at a very fast pace, 73% growth in 2 years. Over 1,000 employees present in different locations working together to achieve 30 billion messages per year. So what happens when you get this type of growth in the company, and how your infrastructure lags, and what are the difficulties it can cause? Today's agenda, we will talk about how Brevo infrastructure journey, what are the tech stack we have learned alongside it, how we are embracing platform engineering in our company, what are the challenges caused using platform engineering to develop our own product, and what is the future of that product. So let's deep dive into the Brevo infrastructure journey. This is divided into three phases. First was the monolithic era, in which all eggs were in the same basket. We have a big Kubernetes cluster with hundreds of workers placed together. And there was a total chaos, a lot of troubleshooting, deployment, scaling, all over the places by the DevOps. Hence, there was bottleneck. The main pain point was there was no isolation, there was noisy neighbors, risky deployments, and which needed a shift from this infrastructure. So why we need shift? We need it for agility, we need it for scalability, we need to reduce single point of failure. Hence, we move to the phase two, which is hyperscaler SRE freedom. In this, we got the scaling, but we end up with more complexity. How? We migrate to clouds hyperscalers, spread into 10 managed clusters, small to mid size. We also adopted SRE approach, where central team for core infra and decentralized SRE embedded in different departments. We got the isolation, we got the scalability, but there was a tooling chaos. New challenges was there was a cost spiral, is inconsistent tooling and triple knowledge. So we need standardization. That's why we need to shift and to have a true platform for productivity. And we ended up in hybrid clusters with a platform mindset. So we deployed 20 clusters with different architectures using hybrid. The baseline was hybrid architecture. There was a team evolution, as team owns shared tool like GitOps, observability, automation, infrastructure, IAC, XYZ. Now the engineering team become autonomous. But the main question arises why we move to hybrid, because we got the control, we got the flexibility in hybrid architecture. Now engineering team does not focus on infra, it's only focus on feature. So faster iteration. And this led to our first product, which is known as KaaS. So this is how we evolved. This is the whole journey from monolithic to hyperscaler to hybrid. There was a transition. So we learned from this transition where we moved from chaos to order, fixed to flexible, and ops to product. So all these transitions are depicting we have a cultural shift where we were doing operation a lot. Now we are thinking about the product development. We were not flexible in the first architecture. Now we are very much flexible. We are always doing troubleshooting. Now we are developing product and managing orders. So this is the key lessons or transition we learned so far. But this was not so easy. We learned a lot during the business growth, and we adopted based on the business need. So how we learned? As Brevo grew 30% yearly, tech wasn't just supporting the business, it was running alongside it. So growth and complexity can cause or meant there will be new services. There need to be scaling of old services. So we need to scale our infrastructure. Business SLA tires. So not all services are equal. engineering became our customers with SLA matching their criticality, where we moved or evolved from DevOps fighting fires, from DevOps automating to SRE standardization, and lastly, platform team building product for engineers. This shift wasn't just operational, it was cultural. Next, let's see how this empowered team. Over to you, Clément.
It's now time to talk to how we embrace our platform engineering practice on the KaaS. So basically, as you know, to do so, we have to shift the mindset. It's not anymore multiple teams that are working together, but more user and provider as the platform as provider and the tech department for the user. To do so, we are focusing first on the user expectation. For sure, the platform needs to scale, to be fast, to be up and running, to have some support to handle it, and even have some SLA. But for that, it's not precise enough. It's not realistic enough. We need to zoom more to be able to define proper targets that we can bring across the teams. On platform expectation, we have different point of view as well. We want to deliver some product which fit the user need. We want to operate and build some smoothly. We want to be autonomous on operating all together with users. And for sure, we also want to be efficient because it's part of a business to be efficient in terms of usage and cost. But on that thing there, it's coming with some challenges. Autonomy means good adoption by the user. Fitting user need means also we need to be able to define some specification with them. Efficiency need to be able to spot all the activities that are doing around the iron triangle, meaning cost, quality, and speed. And obviously, to have some better alignment between operation and build, we need to avoid the context switching, and to do so, we need clear process and documentation. So basically, when we are shifting a little bit more there, we need to define how we are breaking the boundaries to shift this mindset for everyone. As an example there, it's meaning a discussion between user and provider to be able to characterize what they really need. It's not just scaling, it's how much, what is the business impact, what use case they are facing and technologies that they can meet their needs. And at the end, we have an agreement for that. To do so, we have many challenges to face because it's not just because we are saying we want to embrace product engineering that we are able to do so in platform. What is about? First, we have a legacy. We are coming from hyperscaler and we have to migrate. But what is the target? Because, okay, GCP, AWS, Azure, we know what they are offering, but what we want to offer in our side. Meaning just by knowing the feature, we know what they're offering. Load balancer, persistent volume, auto remediation, auto scaler, auto upgrade, AZ, integration with other products inside the hyperscaler. But basically, are we need everything? Not sure. If we are zooming more, what we need at Bravo? We need load balancer, we need persistent volume, auto remediation, as many technologies there. For availability, maybe we can think about hybrid architecture by splitting the traffic between multiple providers to be sure that we have this kind of AZ, but not in the way that the cloud is implementing. For autoscaler, maybe just a strong capacity planning is enough. We maybe don't need to implement a feature such things like that if we are able to forecast any server order and stuff like that. For auto upgrade, we will take care. So it's not an issue to don't have this kind of feature. And for integration with our product, we don't care because we are building our own product there. One thing that is coming, that is not the same previously, is that for sure, we want to design a product that is cost and usage efficient, meaning that we are aligning what we need inside Bravo and what we are building inside the platform. When we say that, what is next? Bridging the gap, meaning how to shift from GCP, AWS, Azure to something else that is different target by Bravo. We choose many technologies from Envoy for load balancer to RK2 for the Kubernetes cluster itself to Longhorn for persistent volume and so on. But meaning that the team is not changing. We are always the same guy there. Only the scope is changing. How we can draft a timeline to be able to shift to this architecture there. In a way, we are adopting the platform culture. First, we are coming from hyperscaler, meaning the all three in one there, plus multiple technologies around like Cert Manager, Argo, and Datadog for all the stacks that we need on top of the cloud provider there. Next, in 1 year, we define our target to be able to just ask simple workload, meaning no load balancer, no persistent volume, simple thing using simple stack there as part of the V0 of our product there. Next, in 1 year again, we build the rest of the feature, meaning that we bring with Cilium Bird all the load balancer and Envoy as well, and Longhorn for the persistent volume. Meaning in 2 years, we are able to accompany this migration there in a way we are adopting the product mindset. And at the end, no more need for any cloud provider there, only our own product there. But it's not enough. At the end, it's not because we are building a product that is usable, meaning that documentation is the key for adopting a product and also for having some support with read the fucking manual, sorry for the words. So at the end, for user, we have multiple kind of documents that we need to bring alive for them, build use case for product usage, and run support for the ops there, being sure that they are able to add them together when there is some issue with the product usage in production. And for the provider, meaning us, we need also maintenance guides to be able to build it all together based on what we are doing every day, but also for the support to be able to operate all together with some runbooks and maintenance routine tasks.
We will explore why KaaS is just the start and how we need to shift from operation to innovation. We just set up the foundation, but it's not the end game. With KaaS in place, we can unlock API gateway to manage microservices, intelligent routing to prioritize business line workload, and serverless compute for agile scaling. This isn't just infrastructure, it's a platform for innovation. But here's the catch. Scaling this requires a cultural shift. And how we are achieving that? We are 5+ engineers to build platform automation, self-service tools, and scalability. But 20+ to operate. That's reactive operation, firefighting tickets, manual scaling, and burnout. To stay competitive, we must bridge the gap. And we are investing more in automation, empowering developers with self-service and prioritize platform engineering. Let's shift from keeping the lights on to building the future.
And now we have a product. And if we want to take some step back about what we face and what we have at the end of the story there, this is where we are coming with some key results. So basically, we did the first step by the migration from hyperscaler to V0. In 4 months, we were able to migrate the easy one there. And it was easy because we were focusing on what is not needed for some technology unlocking there. On the second step that we faced there, in 8 months, we were able to migrate the rest of our workload, meaning all the blockers that we had previously, meaning ingress controller, meaning persistent volume, and so on. But it was not the end of the story, because you can see here that we still have 2 versions of the product. We need to unify the product, and this is the step where we are focusing right now, to be able to migrate again the V0 to the V1, and we are targeting in 5 months to do so, because we will be able to tackle it in faster track than before, because now it's part of our daily activities. At large scales, if we are taking the step back for the past 5 years at Brevo, we can see that we learn a lot. We move from many way of working, from DevOps to infrastructure to SRE to platform. But at the end, why we did that and why it's important to take the step back as well. Basically, what we learn is the growth of a company need to have a dedicated adoption in the infrastructure strategy as well, to be able to reflect it and ensure that the smooth pace will be there. Also, it's not because you define the scope of a team that you can't change it. If a team need to be evolved and need to change the boundaries with engineering and so on, you have to reshape the team to be able to break the boundary there. And at the end of the story, also, it's not the first company there that you are listening that is speaking about this kind of topic. So for sure, follow the leader practice, read some articles, go to conference, and adopt the technologies that is matter and the practice that is matter from all the industry leaders. Thank you to listen to us. It was a pleasure to present to you this topic that we faced during the past year at Brevo. If you want to keep in touch or have so many questions, do not hesitate to follow us on the social media. Thank you.